All right, well, Glitter Girl's in the thick of it right now. She's got a foot starting to poke out back there. She's been pushing just a little bit. She caught us off guard. She didn't bag up nothing. So no bagging up, but just all of a sudden she was stringing and pushing. So here we go. So that's a foot. But we're gonna let her get deeper into it. So glitter is an example of a question I get a lot during the pregnancy stuff, which is, okay, what happens when they start and they stop and they start and they stop? Again, my rule of thumb is I want to give the doe about 30 minutes of active pushing to determine before there's a problem and let her to start create her own progress. What Glitter's doing right now is she's pushing. She's got one leg coming out. It's coming out. The shoulders and the head are hitting the cervix, and then she's going back in. And so she's still trying to push through that initial stage and get me enough progress to start helping her. The foot's just on the other side. I haven't seen its positioning exactly yet, but the foot looks pressed the right way. She's going to lay down again and push, and let's see if we get some progress here. You're going to dig to China, Glitter. You're going to dig to China. Good girl. Good girl. So she's going to push again. You going to push again, Glitter? So don't fret about this stage. This is her just getting the baby in the right position, the push-in. This is the early stage where you let the doe just kind of do the work, assess position, make sure that it's not super goofy. We don't know enough yet, so we're looking at that. So yeah, there it is. Push that way, sweetie.
She's following you.
Right here with you. Once you lay down, you're going to push the rest away if you lay down. I'm trying to help get your back in, honey. Oh, it hurts, huh? Okay, here it comes, honey. Head's right there, so it's presenting right. Just want to let her do her thing. Good girl. Why don't you just lay down, sweetie? There you go. I'll stay up here with her head. Good girl. She's having a hard time getting past where she's at.
Here, I'll hold her still.
That bubble in. Wow, she's really close. The head's right here.
Yeah, she's...
All right, I'm going to pop this bubble and start this kid going. It's right there. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, here she comes. Yeah, head out. She's doing it herself. Here, take that. Hi, little buggy. A little guy. Teeny.
Teeny tiny.
What do you have last time? You had like little teeny guys. Oh, look at you. Wow. Almost looks premature.
It does,
Little guy.
There he is. Go lick it off, baby.
Come here, sweetie. So Whisper's birth story was, we caught her on time. We knew she was going to go. And you know, when she had her first baby, he came out. She labored a fair amount of time, and when she had her first baby, he came out okay. Things were looking up, and then the next baby hung up and began to get difficult and came out head first. I had to go in, feel for what's going on. And when I was able to get that baby out, and there was another one that was jammed up in there as well, I went ahead and got that baby out. And not unlike stillbirths, which this baby was born dead, and not long ago, it only had died maybe a week or 2 weeks before. It was still fully developed, but the eyes were like chocolate brown, no pupils. It was loose skinned. You could tell it was already starting to kind of go. And then as well, the birth fluid was really dark brown, which is always an indicator of a dead kid in there. And dead kids in there can create issues with the birthing, and that the mom has a hard time because the baby isn't actually doing its little wriggling and helping out in the process. And so we got the dead baby out, assessed that it was dead, that it had been dead, and then wondered if we had more, or knew we had at least one more. We had another one, and he was normal. It was 4 boys. And then the last one that came out was Little Peanut. And Little Peanut was about, I think he was 6'4", one of the smallest boys born on the ranch. It was probably not quite as good placental insertion, just wasn't get the nutrition, kind of the runt. But he's turned out to be one of our favorites, and we feel confident that his genetics will overcome his runtiness. And so Whisper, you know, it's always a bummer to have a stillborn. They happen, especially in quad situations. That's her 2nd year of having quads. Last year, all of her quads were born healthy, but then one died the next day, was just kind of a failure to thrive. It hit the ground weak, never really regained any strength, wouldn't nurse, and was dead within 24 hours. So she successfully had quads 2 years in a row, but we've lost one. So the 3 that she kidded, they all look super similar to her, little elf ears and cream colored bodies, and they're just beautiful. So we're really thankful for Whisper and how all that went. And you know, it's an opportunity to learn that, you know, when you have animals and you have birth, sometimes it doesn't always go so perfectly, and it's always disappointing when it does, but it is what it is. These guys are not as energetic as I would like them to be after about 2.5 and 3 hours. And again, everybody's really healthy. Everybody's doing super good, but they're just not bouncing around like I would expect them. They're still a little wobbly. This guy's quite weak. You know, I see that. So that kind of thing makes me think they're just not quite thriving. They're just not quite thriving like I would want them to. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give them some Bosi. And Bosi is basically a mineral injection, and it has a heavy focus on selenium. And because selenium can help these guys to thrive really quickly, we're just going to give 1 mil per 10 pounds. So these guys are each going to get a mil. We'll put it underneath the skin. And one of the things that we'll notice is over the next couple hours, they kind of perk up. Because remember how important a goat's mineralization is, and especially at birth. So if I'm noticing kind of lazy kids, they're not really up and bouncing around and looking like they're all spry, I just give them a shot of Bosi, and a lot of times it brings them right back together. Now, one last thing to remember about that is also a cue for you to realize that the doe may have been low on mineral as well. So often if I have babies that are coming and presenting that way, I'm also going to treat the doe. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just show you how to give this guy a little shot. We're going with 1 mil, and then what we're going to do is just tint the skin. So I'm going to pull it away with the fur, and then I'm going to put it just right at the base of that, not going too far, and boom, and now it's in. So that's how you give a little baby goat a shot. It's pretty simple. Just pull the skin out, stick it in, get it going. Don't be scared. These guys are super healthy, already rootin', tootin', doing good. So Glitter's making it happen. And all the other does are making it happen. 13.4? Is that what I said?
Oh my god, it's done.
Oh, Max, get him out of there. Wow. Wow. That is amazing.
Newborn. Just born. Holy mackerel. I can't-
Thank you.